Good morning, everybody, from Doc. And I thought I would share a little bit of tea and sympathy with everyone today as we are speeding into Mercury retrograde. And I want us all to really be able to understand what Mercury retrograde is. I know a lot of people say, oh, this is the horrible planet that makes everything go awry. And some of my friends actually have an anxiety over the planet Mercury when it goes into retrograde. So the idea of Mercury retrograde is that Mercury as a planet appears as if it's sliding backwards in its orbit. It is not actually doing that. It's just that Mercury is so close to the sun and it moves so much faster around the sun that it would be almost like we're on a freeway and a car passes us going really fast, and then we go around and the appearance is that it's sliding backwards simply because we're passing it in our orbit. So technically it's in its orbit, it's doing everything that it normally does. It's just that the illusion is that it's moving backwards if you're observing the planet from a telescope, as the ancient people did, and they took that as an evil omen, as a sign of sort of a planetary friction. That being said, we're so close to the planet Mercury when we go through a retrograde. We know that the influences of this enormous planet out there, close by to us, moving past us, has a certain gravitational effect upon the Earth, on our state of consciousness, on the way that things work on Earth. You cannot deny the influences of these large celestial bodies and their relationship to our planet. So that's when people say that during Mercury retrograde, things start moving backwards, you get slammed with weird things happening. You have to be very careful with all moving machines like cars that you don't get in an accident, and really step up your spiritual practice so that you're more aware, because there's a tendency to kind of almost go to sleep and let things happen that would not normally happen. So that is why it's very important to step up your practice during Mercury retrograde. But the planet Mercury is not a bad planet. He's the messenger. He moves so fast for the gods. He's the one who brings the messages from the gods. And the message during this period is to slow down. I think we all have a tendency to just move faster and faster and faster in our fast-paced world that we lived in, and we don't take moments to slow down, take a look at everything that you've created, and try to complete what you did not complete. Anything left uncompleted is going to slap you right in the face during Mercury retrograde, and this could be with issues of health, issues of business. So during this 3.5-week period, and it starts on September 27th today, and it's going to go direct on October the 18th. So during this period, that's why we say, don't start new stuff, complete the old stuff. And believe me, at 70, I have been watching this stuff for 40 years. And I'm speaking from a voice of experience here. You really have to tend to business during this period, or it will literally slap you in the face. Most new contracts that you sign during Mercury retrograde, they'll get reversed. And definitely, this is not a time to hate on your life partner and break up because you're going to get back together. Believe me, our nerves are on an edge because there is this gravitational friction between our planet and the planet Mercury. And it makes everybody a little crazy. It makes people do things impulsively. It makes the less, shall we say, conscious and spiritual people do really weird things that have effect, on all of us, like sort of tumbling down, a chute where you get hit by another person's mistakes. So you really want to insulate yourself, and the way you do that is through your spiritual practice. Now, among the Hindu people, we actually have a number of mantras that are very effective towards respecting the planet Mercury. Mercury's name in Sanskrit is Budh, B-U-D-H, Budh. Budh means consciousness. It means the higher mind. That's why we called Lord Buddha. Buddha was a person whose mind or consciousness was fully achieved. But this name does not refer to Buddha. It's just the name for the planet Mercury is Bud. So, and he's also identified with Vasudeva. So, if you chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, supposedly 9,000 times, it will remove the negative effects of Mercury retrograde. And so you'll find in India many people chanting Om over and over and over, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, because that is considered to be a cure for the harmful effects of Mercury retrograde. And there are other more powerful mantras, and if you're really getting hit during a Mercury retrograde time, contact me because in DM I can give you a mantra that will probably really take many of the effects of this away. The most important thing is don't stop doing your practice. Step up your practice. Whether it's yoga or qigong or tai chi, whatever works for you as a spiritual practice in your daily movements, even Pilates or things like that, you want to step up your practice. Don't take it down, step it up. Then secondly, you want to get out and really breathe. Get out in nature. Get outside. Go to your happy place and follow your bliss and really journal during this period. Turn in and try to complete all those projects that you've been putting on the back burner, or like I said, they'll burn you if you do not deal with them during this time period. I have watched this for 40 years, and I try to prepare myself, and also I usually put something out in social media kind of preparing everybody, hey, we're getting ready to go into Mercury retrograde. I'm not saying cower in fear and stay in your house. I am saying step up your practice, change your attitude. Rather than looking at Mercury as a foe, try to look at Mercury as a friend, as the messenger of the god, the man with the wings on his heels, who comes to tell you, hey, you didn't complete this, and you need to complete it, or it's going to come back and bite you. Finish your projects. Don't just keep starting more and more new projects with all of these left unfinished. He's that friendly reminder to slow down, even in your driving. You don't have to drive so fast. It's not the end of the world. You can't take the world over in 3 weeks. So what's wrong with having a 3.5-week period where we all slow down, we meditate more, we do more yoga, change your attitude, and heal? And I also think that Mercury retrograde is a good time to heal old wounds. If you carry a lot of anger with you, the first place that attacks is your liver. Liver disease comes from lots and lots of repressed anger. So I always think, take that mantra, thank you, forgive me, help me heal, I love you, and even direct that to your enemies, the people that most tick you off, the people that are constantly on your tail. Thank you, I forgive you, heal, go to progression, help them move on from these angry, awful knots that people just get caught into, a rut that allows them to hate. The more you hate and the more they hate, the more that becomes a knot that can blow up in your face during Mercury retrograde. So you want to posture yourself in a sense of healing as you heal and let go of your anger and let go of the feelings that you have of hate and problems with other people. The more that can unravel your health and harm you in the long run, you want to let go and untie those knots during Mercury retrograde and just say, heal. This is a message from the messenger of the gods. Move on, heal, stop your hate, move forward, let it go, and focus on all the positive chi that wants to flow in and through your life. When you open up to the positivity and the powerful chi that just sits there waiting, wanting to flow into you, then everything starts to heal. You have immunity to lots and lots of diseases. You have immunity to old age. You have immunity to all the inflictions that come with years of life and years of us abusing ourselves through all the weird things that human beings do to abuse themselves. And all the things that they do to cut themselves off from the positive energy on the planet and instead buy into all the toxicity, all the toxic things, all the negative opinions, all of that crap, rather than looking at nature and looking at the Menahunis and the nature spirits and the fairies and all of the good positive spirits that want to come in and help you in life. So we have a tendency just to sabotage our lives over and over and over. And I think Mercury retrogrades where it comes to a head, like anything that's been out there over you, weighing on your heart, you really need to forgive. And you really need to untie that knot. And you really need to just say, thank you, I love you, and let it go. Most of those issues that we get in with other people are so petty, they're so small, they don't really have anything to do with your beauty and with your radiance. So my feeling is, get in. You are the treasure. You are the beauty. You are the radiance. You are the chi. And the more that you open yourself to that and you let that flow into your life and flow out through your life, you're going to see things like cancer, things like the most horrible kinds of viruses, illnesses, all the stuff that could prey upon us. It's just going to flow out of you. It will flow in and it will flow out. And trust me on this, I'm an old man. I've been doing this a long time. And just look at me. It really, really does work. It will keep you safe and secure through all kinds of psychic attacks, all kinds of things, that bad energy that's out there in life that tries to come your way. You want to just keep that flow of positive chi and let your inner radiance just radiate out love and beauty and kindness and surrender to the gorgeous sides of life. If all human beings could tune in to life this way and upgrade, let's say, their consciousness, this would be a fabulous planet. This would be an amazing, happy, wonderful, incredible planet, free from jealousy, free from envy and all the lower icky emotions. And people would just be happy for one another. We'd be happy for your success. We'd be happy for you being you. We would be happy for every good thing that flows to another human being. There just would not be people sitting around and, I don't like that person. Well, what's he doing? Yuck. You know, instead, we're just showing our inner radiance, loving everybody, and everybody radiating at a very, very high level. This could be an amazing world. It's the human beings who are basically holding this world back. The birds, most of the animals are already there. Their minds are so simple that I was watching a bunny rabbit this morning. He's just being happy, hoppity, hopping around. I gave him a little carrot. It was like I'd given him a treasure, just a little piece of carrot. So that's why I keep the turquoise wand with me. The turquoise wand takes away all of the toxicity and crap, and I just keep hitting the world, all my friends, everybody around me with beauty and radiance. I just want everybody to be their beautiful self, their radiant self. And as you tune into this, and as you receive this powerful chi that I'm sending out, you become more beautiful, you become more radiant, you become more happy, you become more blissful. And my philosophy has always been, follow your bliss. You want to be happy? Follow your bliss. Look at someone like Iris Apfel. She's 100, and look at her. Because Iris told me what she does, she just follows her bliss. She just does things in life that makes her happy. Even if it's buying some silly little stuffed animal, you do what you do to make yourself happy, and thus the world is happier by one person, So, I wanted to have this conversation with everybody today about Mercury retrograde so that it just doesn't continually jump up and bite us all in the ass. And that we don't sit back easily and just expect it to bite us in the ass. But instead, start your mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And my guru in India said, we need to say that about 9,000 times every time this 3.5-week period comes. So that's a lot. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. But as you say that, you're gonna, I promise you, you're gonna see the knots start to untie. And good things are going to happen to you. And I can't tell you enough that I know this works because I look at my own life, and at my age, so many good things continue to flow through me, and I'm absolutely convinced it's because I keep pulling on the positive chi, pushing the positive chi through no matter what, and letting all that negativity go. And certain things are going to get through, of course. You almost have to posture yourself during Mercury retrograde to expect some blocks. Some things are going to go wrong. But there can be even secret messages in those. And I had something happen to me over the weekend that I thought was pretty bizarre. And now I'm looking at it, my goodness, there's really good things coming out of this, important things that I needed to attend to, important things that I needed to finish. And money came out of it, and things that I did not expect from what could have been perceived as a disaster has turned out to be helpful. So we might change our attitudes. We might go ahead and start your mantra, and we might start in our meditation inviting the radiance, the beauty, the peace and the happiness to come from our being. And I think that these would be extremely good cures for the moment. If you're looking for good stones to wear during Mercury retrograde, well, of course, me, Mr. Turquoise. I wear a lot of turquoise because turquoise is the color of protection. It keeps away negativity, and it is also, divine warrior. So turquoise is really good. Another really great stone during Mercury retrograde is tiger's eye. Tiger's eye also affords protection, keeps away the evil eye, and it takes you to your higher consciousness, your higher self, in the third eye, the ajna point. You just kind of, in your mind, imagine tiger's eye. A good oil for this period is sandalwood. Sandalwood is protection, higher consciousness, and I always put it in the bud of the third eye to honor Mercury. And rather than seeing Mercury as this large planet that's aflow, Google Mercury, take a look at it. It's a beautiful planet. We should probably start a more positive relationship with the planet Mercury. And rather than seeing it as a foe, see it as a messenger and honor it as that. And that mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, that is a mantra of honor. As you honor it, I believe the impact, the harmful impact of Mercury retrograde will soften. That's certainly been my experience. So, thank you for joining me for my morning cup of chai from the garden in Belmont Manor, and I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful day, a wonderful October, and I'm putting a lot of energy out there that this pandemic will just slip away the way it came, go back to the Death Star it came from, and leave us all alone so that our lives can all return to normalcy. So that's certainly the vibration I'm sending out there today, and I'm sending out a very, very special radiance to all of you to radiate your light, your beauty, and your peace. And may your lives once again return to beauty and normalcy, and don't let Mercury retrograde get you down. So from my garden to yours, from my heart to yours, have a beautiful day from Doc Phineas. Lots of love. Bye.